Let's take a look at what the main advantages are of having a government based upon federalism. Like, why do we do this? Like, what are the good things about having the type of government the way we do it and dividing power between the national government, the local government, and state governments? Well, first, anytime you divide power between different groups, you definitely like reduce the chance of abuse. So if you cut off power a bunch of different ways between the branches, that's great. And then you further divide power by dividing it between the national government, states, and local governments. The more you divide power, the less a chance that one person or one group is going to be able to abuse that power. Secondly, we're a huge country. We're a very diverse country, and one size fits all doesn't really work like with our system of government. Definitely have people in different areas of the country with different needs. By allowing local and state officials to make lots of decisions, you allow them to sort of like tailor what they want to do to what best benefits the people. Like local people know what local people need the best. Instead of trying to have one policy made by the national government on every single issue, states and local communities can accommodate their diversity by having a say in the decision making process. Also, federalism allows the minority groups, the rights of minority groups to be better protected. So, for example, the Hispanic population only makes up about 16% of the entire national population, but Hispanics make up a more sizable portion of like lots of other states. So, unfortunately, if it was just the national government making decisions, because it's such a small percentage of the population, they might not necessarily tailor the policies to the needs of that group. But because state and local communities make up so many of the decisions, they can better accommodate the needs of like these minority groups. And the last thing, it allows the national government really to focus on like the big picture. If you think about like major issues that have occurred in like Abington that are of a controversy, whether it was like putting red light cameras in a couple of intersections a couple years back, or opening like the super Wawa, right, which a lot of the neighbors like opposed over like the Jenkintown community. Like these are issues that the federal government just doesn't need to worry about. Like the federal government, not that these aren't important, they're important to people because they impact people. But the federal government needs to focus on like the big picture, like the big issues that impact everybody, not like the small local and community oriented issues. It also allows the states to become what we refer to as laboratories. They can sort of experiment with like different issues, and then the national government can kind of see how it works out. So, for example, like legalization of marijuana is one such example. It's really the states decide whether or not they want to legalize marijuana for medicinal purposes, for recreational purposes, and you can kind of see that on the map. It allows states to sort of experiment with how they want to handle problems and issues, and then the national government can sort of like sit back and see like how they handle it and the impact and all those kind of things. So it really allows states to play around with issues such as marijuana legalization in other states, and the national government can see the impact that that has.